Thomas asked a few guys on the defensive line what that room is like. How would you describe it?
It's definitely a brotherhood. Just being around those guys every day, just working with them, practice and film study and just doing stuff together when we're not doing football-related activities. It's a brotherhood at the end of the day.
What's that buy-in? Like we talked a lot about guys not caring how many plays they get and just kind of accepting their roles and maximizing when they're in there. What's that buy-in been like this year?
Yeah, it's really just knowing that everyone's got a job to do. I got a job to do. Boys got a job to do. MJ, Asazi, they all got jobs to do. And at the end of the day, it's hard to say that you should be getting a certain amount when you look across and you see the guy that's playing your spot is doing just as good as you. And sometimes you look at that and like, man, like he's doing really good. Like I need to get better too. It's that competition that kind of it drives that. Sharing, I guess, reps in terms of that. But to us, it's not even sharing. It's competing with and competing together. Like that's ultimately what it is.
I assume that depth we haven't seen from a defensive line in this program in a long time. There's a pride factor in that really, no matter who's in there, there's not a drop off.
Yeah, and that's what's echoed, throughout that room is that our depth is our advantage at the end of the day. We having a guy be able to step in, and there's not a flinch or a thought or a doubt about he's going to play up to the standard of what the standard is and what's expected.
How would you describe what that level is, just given how much football has been played in that room? From Niles at Clemson and Micah at Notre Dame, and you playing a lot, Boye, Big O.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe what that level and that standard is?
It's always going up. Coach Fleck talks about that all the time. The standard goes up every day. And it's one of those things that's hard, I think, for young guys to understand that where that level is. But that comes through watching the guy in front of you play, watching the guys that you play next to play, and understanding how hard they're working and how hard you need to be working. And I talk about that competition with each other, and that ultimately comes down to how can I make myself better, but how can I make my teammates better too? If I'm not going hard enough, Isazi's going to get on me and tell me that I'm not going hard enough, and likewise me with him. So just being in that room, having that brotherhood, and competing with each other and just being together really brings that standard into the eyes of what it needs to be.
Thomas, I know it's never perfect, but just watching this defense, it seems like guys are where they're supposed to be, like in the right spots.
Mm-hmm.
How much does that come back to the coaching staff just constantly harping on details?
Yeah, so Coach Rossi, the whole coaching staff, details and execution is what at the end of the day where we get our reward from. They come in with a great plan. It's their job to teach and demand that of us, and it's our job to prepare and execute that plan. So, detail, technique, get your job done. But to us, it's how can I do my job at an elite level with elite technique, and that's where we're at right now.
How helpful is it going against the offensive line that your team has?
It makes everything so much easier in terms of you got guys that are playing at such a high level that we got scout O-line that's going hard every day for us and giving us a great look, and then even going against guys on the first team and getting that look and that speed that we need. It makes everything slow go a little fast or a little slower.
What do you think about some of the blitz packages that you guys have had with stand-up D linemen, kind of, it's kind of a 5 technique and kind of the different looks that you guys are trying to present?
Yeah, Coach Rossi comes up with a lot of good stuff. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for a while. They come up with a game plan and what needs to be executed, and they do a really good job each week. They do an elite job, and I think that's what he does. I mean, give all the credit to him. He comes up with the plans, and we go out there and execute them. But he's the one that's making that scheme, and he does a great job of that.
What type of challenge does Northwestern's offense present to you?
They're a very disciplined team. Notwithstanding, they're the 2020 Big Ten West champs. So that's that's where we're at, and we know they're a disciplined team that they're going to play really hard, and we got to match that and exceed that even.
We've heard so many players and PJ say that Northwestern is the defending champs. Do you guys internally have a second phase of that where it's, if we want to get there, we need to do it this weekend to the championship part?
Yeah, so that's what we're thinking of, is that these guys they won the Big Ten championship last year, and I think out of the last 3 years they've won it twice. I think that's correct. They play hard, they're disciplined, and if we want to get to that spot, we have to ultimately beat the Big Ten West champs. So that's where we're at, and that's how we view them.
What do you see out of their running back, Evan Hall?
He's great. He's a great back. Really good Big Ten back. All the Big Ten backs are really good, and he's just another really, really good running back. That's pretty much it.
Any more for Thomas?
Works for me.
Thank you, Thomas.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.